Are you like me spending a lot of money on fertilizer? Especially if you want to have organic fertilizer. You need to go to the store all the time and pay so much money for stuff like bone meal, fish meal, or the fertilizer. And then they might have a shortage one year and you're completely screwed. I tried to make an experiment this week to change that. We just finished up our turkey from Thanksgiving. Normally I take the meat, I sometimes do make broth, and then the bones go in the compost. This year I want to try something new. I would like to make bone meal out of the turkey bones. If that works well, we're gonna make it out of other bones too, and I can make more videos about it. Hi, my name is Karen from Prepared and Sustainable Living, and I welcome you to this week's video. Today I attempt to make bone meal out of the turkey bones. I'll take you guys with me, so stick to the end when I tell you how it works for me, what worked for me, what didn't work, why I had trouble, and if I think it's going to be worth it to do. Sorry, my dog is in pain. And at the end I'm going to let you know how it worked out and show you the results. And if you like it, we can make more videos about other bone meal as well. So let's get it started. Alright, as a first step we had to get the meat off. I did make some broth in a crock pot for a couple hours, actually many hours. Now we have a look if the meat's already off or if we need to do a little bit more than that. I have my pot here. I want to have the broth in there. I got me a bowl where I'm gonna put the leftover into. Have a look if there's still some meat on there, so I'm gonna have to pull some more off. So I definitely didn't cook it all off in here, which is fine. The meat and things like that, they go back in a pot with the broth. All we want to have for the next step are bones. Put the big pieces out already just because it's easier for me. The broth together with the leftover meat, I was still on the bone, is gonna go in the freezer because I would have to pressure can it, and our pressure canner is out of order right now. So to be able to store it over and use it over the winter, I'm gonna afterwards freeze the broth because water bath canning is not gonna work. I tried it with chicken broth once because I already had the water bath canner out and I had some room left and I put it in there, and believe me, it doesn't work. Alright, I put that in the sink just in case I make a big mess. Which I probably do as much as I know me. Put that in here as well. Of course, that stuff is right now really hot. Put the broth aside and put the lid on just so it stays clean. That's really hot right now, so I'll give it, I don't know, maybe half an hour or something, and let it cool down. And once you're done with that, we'll come back, pick the bones out, and get ready for the next step. Alright, the meat and the bones are now cold. I do turn the oven on already. Check that it's empty. On about 400 degrees. Let that heat up. I put the meat and stuff back in the broth. I want to keep that stuff. I'm getting sure the bones are really clean. I keep scraping my bones and I'll be back when you're all back in the pot. Right, the bones are out and now comes the fun part. They're too big to go in the grinder, so we'll put them in the bag and smash them. Since I take the hammer and I don't want to hit the 16 ounces hammer on my kitchen counter, I'm probably gonna have to bite the bullet and do it outside where it's really cold. Alright. I'll get dressed and see you guys outside. I hope the wind isn't too heavy and you guys can still hear me. So I have my bag, I have my hammer. And since they're nice dry, not that hard to smash. The bag is gonna be broken. I can already tell that. That's okay. I don't plan on using the bag again. And now, pretty small, and you go inside and grind them up. First I put it in a meat grinder, like that, grind it up some. Then I go and put it in my new grinder right here. So it's really thin, but you don't have to do all that. That's just my preference for now for the chicken bones. So now I'm done. That's the result. I put it back on the cookie sheet because the bone mark was not 100% dry and I did not want to have it getting spoiled. So I put it back on a cookie sheet for a day or two to dry out. And I bet if I when I later clean out the grinders, there will be a little bit more coming out too. So what's my conclusion about this experiment? First question is it possible? Well, it is. I did it. There are a couple of things to think about if you want to do the bone meal. Sorry, my dog's turning nuts because of his ball over there. Sorry, here's just funny. Alright, there are a few things you have to consider when you do bone meal. First thing is which bones you use. I use turkey bones and my food processor was not able to process them. Might be because it's an old and small food processor, but it didn't work. That's why I took the meat grinder and made it manually. If I would get beef or pork bones, I would probably not pulverize them like that and put them through the grinder. I probably would gonna put them on a plywood or something like that, put a towel on it so the bones don't spit all over the place and go in my eyes or something, and smack them down with a hammer till they are small enough to use. I mean, it's bone meal. That doesn't have to be pulverized. If they are a little bit bigger, that's fine. It works too. The second question I was thinking about is it economically? And there my short answer has to be it depends. If you can dry the bones in the greenhouse or in the sun, yes, it's economically worth it. It is a lot of work and it takes some time, but all those things we do, like old-fashioned or off-grid or from scratch, do take more time. That's just how those things are. But I did, like you saw, dry them in the oven. If you put them in the oven or the dehydrator, I don't know if they're really gonna be cheaper than if you would buy bone meal. I did not make the calculations, but I think with the gas and the power getting more and more expensive, I would not be sure if it's really economical if you dry them with the dehydrator or the oven. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do in the future is I'm gonna put those bones in the oven, in the freezer, till I have enough of it and enough time. In March, it probably we have warm enough days that we can dry them outside, especially if I smack them out up first and instead of drying the whole bone, dry the small pieces, or later when the greenhouse is done, put them in there and then get them ready. Since bone meal is really good for tomatoes and stuff like that, we don't plant tomatoes in March, at least not in my area. So it's still too cold for tomatoes, so I have time than doing it. All in all, I will do it again and I will do it more, and I'm probably gonna do it with beef and pork, and maybe if we get a deer this winter, with deer too. But I am not gonna put them back in the oven